We have Henry's in the house. Hotel Ingo is the house right now in the Gaslamp Quarter, not too far from our own personal residence. Uptown Tavern is here. Good to see Hillcrest is representing as well.
All right, let's start it, Jason.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure there's going to be some more people logging in as we go, but let me first extend from Puesto and all San Diego industry a huge, huge thank you. We appreciate and love you all so much. I can tell you that I personally have been working in San Diego industry now for almost 20 years. And I've gotten to know a lot of these restaurants and bars and hospitality venues that obviously drive a huge part of our economy. You're all so important to San Diego's personality and the growth of our city, and we can't thank you enough. So welcome to the first Zoom Industry Support Dinner. This is super exciting for us. It was a huge day today. We actually had 1,400 care packages passed out. We've done almost 10,000 packages just in the last month through our events. And our goal is that we're going to continue to provide as much community outreach as possible during these really, really tough times, specifically for our industry. So tonight we have our culinary director, Chef Eric Arnau. He's going to be cooking up some amazing chicken arajas tacos, which you all have in your kits. And then we have the very talented beverage and spirits creative director, Beau Dubois, with us as well, who is going to be putting together Quarantenders choice cocktail for the night. Beau also hosts a weekly episode series called Quarantending, which is becoming very, very popular on social media. So feel free to look him up on Instagram and tune in the next time that he's going to either go live with a special guest or put up his weekly episode. But basically how tonight's going to work is you all have your kits. There was a little bit of preparation before, but if you need or have any questions at all, the chat is available. We're going to do our very best to stay as tuned into that as possible and answer all your questions. Just know that there's obviously a lot of you, and it seems like the group continues to grow. We're going to pass it over right now to Alex, one of the owners of Puesto, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the company and our history.
Yeah, so I think today was probably the craziest day we've had since we opened in 2012. We went to Loyola High. Our whole family were born and raised here. It's awesome to give back to the community, and today, it was nice to give back to everyone that's been so supportive of Puesto and supportive of our family and what we've been doing. Yeah, thanks for joining the call. Hopefully this is the first of many. Hopefully we do something fun for Cinco de Mayo and much more. And hopefully we're all out of our homes really soon and back to normal. But yeah, we really appreciate it.
That's hey, everybody.
Great. Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we sure can.
Mark Grant.
Yeah, Mark, how are you?
How you guys doing?
Good. Well, that's an exciting surprise.
Oh, thanks,
Wow.
Jason, appreciate it. Yeah, I saw the fryer there. Where's the fryer?
Yeah, was he just couch hopping with a looked like a fan sign in the background?
I think he was. Yeah. Oh, how funny. Stuff. Well, hey, I want to take time to say thank you very much. We received our package today with all the food in there. And my daughter and my wife I'm in my office right now. There's the fryer. My wife and daughter are now in the kitchen preparing it. And I can't wait to dive in because I love, you guys know me, I love food and everything. And appreciate all you guys do too, the men and women out there. But, it's the industry workers, the restaurant employees, all the servers and bartenders and cooks. I want to tip my cap. I don't have a cap, so I'll give you a salute for all the hard work that you do. Because, it's tough times like this that everybody's playing by the rules and staying home and trying to stay active and being able to enjoy some great food. But, when we get back to normalcy and be able to go out, it's like, the bartenders and the servers and the restaurant employees and everybody like that make our night or afternoon whenever we go out to make it more enjoyable. So can everybody see me right now?
Yeah, we sure can.
Okay, because this is a salute. I got this, of course, right? So the seal hasn't even been broken. I'm going to break that seal. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to do
I love it.
I'm going to do a shot in honor of you all. Thank you for all you do. Appreciate it. Salute, enjoy, and all the best, you guys.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate it.
Cheers, salute. That's darn good.
Sure is. One of the best.
Wow, that's smooth.
Thanks, George Clooney.
Yeah, George
Sorry,
Clooney
I'm gonna
Randy,
unmute myself
Randy
for a
Gerber,
second.
right? Who's that?
This is Christy from Casamigos. I just wanted to say thank you
Yeah,
so
Christy.
much to everyone for including us in this incredible opportunity. I love you guys so much. This was so amazing, and just the outpouring. I just thank you, bartenders, bar staff, for everything you guys do for us, and I just love you guys so much. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Christy. Appreciate it.
Well, hey, I'm gonna go enjoy my food right now. I really appreciate Jason and Bo and Christy and everybody else. And Elise, thank you so much for all you do. Keep up the good work, and hopefully things get back to normal quickly, so we can all sit around a table and have fun, possibly, and enjoy this delicious tequila and wonderful food. So thank you all very, very much.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that Padres season too. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely, go Padres.
Yep,
Go
go Padres.
Yeah, go Padres.
All right, guys.
Padres.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Thank you all.
All right, well, let's get the show on the road, Jason.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. That was an awesome little surprise right there, and great to see that industry support just extending all the way over to the Padres. All right, so we are going to kick this off. We're going to pass it over to our beloved Beverage and Spirits Creative Director, Beau Dubois, to get started with our cocktail for tonight.
All right. Well, thank you. I don't know how I follow up the Padres, but I'm going to do my best. And let me first start by saying the turnout today at our Seaport Puesto was inspiring. To see the outpouring of excitement and support, and just people being really, really, really excited to join a Zoom like this tonight it gave me a lot of energy. So I'm definitely ready to get started, and I'm feeling a little thirsty. So in your care package that you received today from our Seaport location, there was the cocktail kit that's inside that included your minis of your Casamigos Blanco, three limes, as well as a couple ramekins that had some pineapple juice in it, and some of Puesto's house-made apricot cordial. So before we get started, we're going to talk first about tools that we need to make the cocktail. Now, no stress if you guys do not have any of these professional tools at home. I've been bartending for a long time. And that's why I have these tools. And we're going to talk today about a few substitutes. Okay, so don't stress out. Don't worry. At the end of this, you're still getting a cocktail. Okay. And or worst case scenario, just some straight Casamigos. Okay. So first off, I'm going to be using my double tin shaker set. Okay. If you don't have a shaker set at all, don't worry about it. Use a deli container, a to-go container, something that's got a lid that you can put the cocktail in, you can shake it, and then you can gently strain it out. All we're trying to do is chill the cocktail, dilute it a little bit, as well as aerate it. Next up, our jigger. This is how we measure for consistency, because today we're making 2 cocktails at the same time. Hashtag multitasking, okay? So if you don't have a jigger, okay, something like that to measure with, just a measuring cup is okay, as long as you can see fluid ounces on it, all right? That's all you need, okay? So again, don't stress out. And then a strainer, okay? If you don't have a strainer, don't worry about it. You know, use your shaker, use a lid, something to just kind of create that small opening so the cocktail is gonna come out. So in regards to straining, I'm gonna be serving the Quarantenders choice, which is today's cocktail. I'm gonna be serving it up. That's just how me and my beautiful wife like to enjoy cocktails today. But you do you. As you will hear me say constantly on quarantining, you will hear me say the best cocktail in the world is the one that you want, okay? So you do you. You wanna pour it up, or you wanna pour it down, you wanna pour it over rocks, it's totally fine. You wanna pour it directly from the shaker into your mouth, do that, okay? You're at home, you're not going anywhere. Let's do it. Let's get started, okay? So the Quarantender's choice is a combination of Casamigos Blanco, some fresh squeezed lime juice, some apricot cordial that we made at Puesto, okay, and a little bit of pineapple. And you have all of those ingredients. So what I'm going to do to begin is I'm going to get all my ingredients out of the fridge that we're chilling. we squeezed our limes ahead of time. If some of you caught that on our Instagram story, you want to do that, because if you use fresh lime juice right away after squeezing it, it's really, really, really intense, okay? So I squeezed mine a few hours ago. It needs a little bit of time to calm down, take a nap, oxidize a little bit, and get perfect for making cocktails with, all right? Let's begin with our vessel that we're gonna shake our cocktail in. Now we're gonna start in a certain order, and this is just a little bit of education and background on when you make cocktails, what you should start with, okay? I'm gonna start with my non-alcoholic ingredients first, okay? And the reason for that is in professional bartending or bartending at home, you wanna start with the ingredients that are the least expensive, because even after 17 years of bartending, I certainly mess up from time to time. And if you're gonna mess up, you'd rather mess up with the non-alcoholic, least expensive ingredients first if you gotta start over, okay? So let's start with our fresh lime juice. Keep in mind that we are making 2 cocktails at the same time. So you got 3 limes, should have yielded at least 3 ounces of fresh lime juice. We're only gonna need 1.5 ounces of that, okay? I'm just gonna measure right out of my deli. Just dump that in there. And we can put the juice aside because we don't need that right now. Now, moving on to the pineapple juice and the apricot cordial, I got some great news for you. When we packaged all these care packages up, we just measured it already for you. So you can just take your pineapple juice, no jigger, no measurement, and just dump it right in there. Whoa, mixology, okay? Next, we're gonna go to our apricot cordial. So let's talk about the apricot cordial, also pre-measured. Just dump it right in. Apricot cordial, the way that we made this was just a little bit of sugar, water, and some dehydrated apricots that we steeped and blended together and then fine strained. I like to use dried fruits a lot because they're dried at peak freshness. And so I can capture that flavor in a much more cost-friendly way, either at home or at Puesto. All right, so if you're all caught up, we've already got our fresh lime, we've got our pineapple, and we've got our apricot cordial. So we're only missing our key ingredient, the gas that makes this engine go, our Casamigos Blanco, all right? Now, for the sake of just providing examples of alternative measuring devices, and instead of using a jigger, I'm gonna use this fluid ounces measuring cup, and we're gonna need almost 3.5 of these. So there's gonna be a little bit extra that we can nip on while Chef Aronow is cooking. So since we're definitely gonna need 2 full ones, we're gonna do it at the same time because I like to party, okay? Or if you're using a jigger, you're just gonna hit your 2-ounce mark and then dump it in and then hit your 2-ounce mark again. You got 4 ounces. All right, I'm gonna need a little bit from the third one, all right, to hit 4 ounces. Well, I'm gonna put that to the side for little secret sips, okay? And we're pour all that tequila in there. So that's it. The cocktail's ready to be shaken. So now is the time to make sure that you've got your glassware ready to go and your garnish. Okay, we don't want the cocktail to die while we're trying to make our garnish. So let's talk about the garnish really fast. What you're gonna do with the 2 extra limes that are in your kit, don't discard them. Chef Aronow is gonna walk you through why they're needed for the dish, for the tacos. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a couple peels off. You can see that I've already done one right there. I'm gonna be using this peeler. If you don't have a peeler, a knife is okay too. Either way, be careful. So we're just gonna take a peel off. I've got one already ready to go. And then just to kind of get it ready, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my paring knife and I'm just gonna square off all the sides. Okay, so it started by looking like this and now it looks like this, okay? Take your time, don't rush, don't cut yourself. Just finish this second one. And then the last thing that I'm gonna do so that it will hang beautifully on our glass is I'm just going to cut a little V in the center of it. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. Again, be very careful when you do this. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. You can see that it's square, but it's got like a nice little lip on there. Okay, we'll just finish that off. And then next up, it's gonna be time to shake this cocktail, okay? So again, the point of shaking cocktails is whenever you have citrus in a cocktail, fresh lemon juice, fresh grapefruit, any kind of juice really in general, you need to shake that cocktail. And that's because the cocktail needs to kind of be pulled apart, all the ingredients, pushed together, chilled and diluted and aerated. All right, so we're going to fill our big shaking tin as much as we can with ice because we want chill, but we don't want a ton of chill, okay? It's all about balance, restraint, and subtlety, okay? Thoughtful cocktails, that's what we're going for today. So I'm gonna get some shaking ice. Okay, and now we're just going to carefully pour our cocktail in, and then we're gonna connect, make the seal, and now it's time for shaker face. All right, shake it up. Oh, yes, yes. Is that a protein shaker, Chef?
It is.
I love that. Perfect option. Oh, beautiful. Chef, are you seeing bubbles on yours?
Yes, I am. A little foamy top.
That means it's ready. And we're going to carefully strain. I'm using a Carico strainer, meaning that when I seal this strainer, as you can see, it acts as a double strainer. I'm trying to keep ice chips out of my drink. I'm going to serve it in a couple of Leopold glasses. Again, you serve it in whatever glass you want to enjoy this evening with. Making one for me and one for my beautiful wife. Then lastly, our garnish. Just gonna put that right on the rim there. Okay, and as I said, first one's going to Mrs. Dubois. There we go. This one's definitely for me. And so now it's time. All right, is everybody ready? It's time to cheers before we get started on dinner. Let's do it. All right, cheers to everyone. Cheers to everyone. San Diego Industry Hospitality
Cheers.
members. Cheers to you. Cheers to Puesto, Jason, Alex, Chef Arnau. Cheers, everyone. Chef, how's that?
That is
taste?
delicious, Bo. That is one heck of a cocktail, I must say. Delicious,
You know, I figured
finessed.
Thank you, Chef. I figured while we're all stuck inside, we need a little bit of a tropical variation of a margarita, just to kind of evoke some tropical escapism. Okay. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure, guys. I'm going to hand it over to our chef, and we're going to get started on dinner. All right. Cheers to everyone, and thank you. Over to you, Chef.
Cheers. Hi, everyone. Chef Eric Arnau, the culinary director at Puesto, and tonight we're going to make our chicken rajas taco. Some of the things that we want to have on your station tonight is everything that was in the package that you picked up earlier today at Puesto. So I will get that all out, all your lids off, and all in one area so you can work organized and we can get this meal going. Some things you're also going to want on handy is a cutting board. It doesn't need to be big. It can be small. A knife to fit that cutting board. I have a pair of tongs, a spoon. You can use a spatula. And I'm going to use like a tall-sided saute pan to cook our chicken in. It can be a regular saute pan. It can be non-stick. It can be a cast iron. And then we're also going to do our signature cheese roll. For that, I would say the best option is going to be a non-stick pan. I have a non-stick griddle, but you guys can also use a cast iron works as well. I would shy away from using a stainless steel pan because they tend to stick more if not seasoned. So I would get those two pans on your stovetop. I'm also going to ask that you wash the poblano peppers. They might be a little bit dirty. They've been in the bag, and it's always good practice to wash your vegetables. So I'll give everybody a few moments to get their station set up, caught up, and maybe we'll see if Jason has any questions from the viewers.
Yeah, and I mean, this is from Chef Eric, who since before Corona admitted that he uses gloves at home for everything.
Well prepared. Yeah, Chef,
yeah.
it looks like we had some questions that came in to Bo, but actually we have an incredible, obviously following of industry professionals here, and they actually answered a lot of your questions before you could. So I think we're in pretty good shape right now. And Chef, I'll obviously chime in when any questions come in regards to the food prep and cooking.
Amazing. Well, first things first, we have our stations set up. So the first thing that we can do is start to char and roast our poblano peppers. So I'm actually going to have my wife help me out with this. That way I can talk everybody through it. So we have here we cleaned the poblano pepper under some running water, wiped it off with a paper towel, get all the dirt away. And what you're going to want to do is turn on your burner, a high flame, and then just over the flame, you can roast the peppers. And you want the skins to char along the whole entire pepper, so it's gonna look black. This might take a few minutes. It's not necessary to get every spot on the pepper roasted, although that is ideal. And if you think you're burning it, you're doing it correctly. What that's gonna do is impart some smoky flavor and also make the skin easy to remove. Usually on peppers, the skin is a little tough, so we wanna soften the pepper, impart flavor through the fire, and get rid of the skin. So
Chef,
to do
how
this
long
with
does it typically take?
one pepper, I mean, I think it all depends on your burner. So it can take anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes per pepper. And what you're
How do
gonna
you
wanna
know
do
when you're done?
when it's burnt. When you think you messed
Got
it
it.
up, you know that you're done. So it'll be completely charred.
I love that.
Once you have one of the peppers charred, I like to put them into either a bag, a plastic grocery bag, a Ziploc bag, or a bowl. And I'll cover the bowl with plastic wrap, another plate, a lid to the bowl, so it steams inside. What that's gonna do is release some of the juices, which we can use for cooking, and it's also gonna tenderize the poblano pepper. So what we have here are some already finished poblano peppers.
Hey, Chef.
Yes.
Chef, real quick, we have a number of questions coming in that if you don't have gas, a gas-powered stove, electric, or a torch potentially, any other recommendations on how you can smoke those? You want to put them inside the stove, or what's the best bet?
Yes, what you can do is if you do have an oven that has a broiler setting, you can also throw it under the broiler, and under the broiler it should take
Perfect.
anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, and it'll do the same thing. So really all we're looking to achieve is a charred skin, as you can see right here. It's black, it looks burnt, but the pepper is nice and tender. It's imparting a little bit of smoky flavors. It'll be easy to peel and slice. So a lot of people
Eric,
maybe wonder, yes.
we're gonna take some time because I think we're having a little difficulties across the board with the peppers, but
Okay. So I'll let everybody catch up on the peppers. In the meantime, we can talk about the dish. So the dish that's a spin-off of is rajas con crema. That's a dish that is very popular in central, southern Mexico, or even all throughout Mexico. Mexican-American families, it's a very comfort style dish. And what it is rajas, which in Spanish means strips. And it's strips of the poblano pepper. Once they're roasted, the skins are taken away and they're cut into strips. They can also be cut into a dice, but it literally means strips. Usually it's served reduced in a cream sauce. Some families like to add corn, jalapenos. It can get seasoned, different by every household. And you can also do that in your dish tonight. If there's something you want to add to the sauce, your own little touch, preference, maybe more black pepper, some chili powder, some chili flake, by all means, it's good to go. That dish is usually served with tortillas. It can be served just as like a chips and a dip. And the play that we're doing tonight is we're going to mix it with some poached chicken and wrap it in our signature cheese roll. It's a very comforting dish. So I know everybody's been home. Some people are down in the dumps because they're not in the kitchens, they're not in the restaurant, they're not working, they're doing what they love. So here's a nice comfort dish for everybody to do. So what we have here is a perfectly roasted poblano pepper. So all the skins are going to be charred. We'll go into the bowl, and in the bowl, I'll cover it with some plastic wrap. And we'll let them steam for about a minute or so, just to get tender. So this is all we're looking for right now.
Thanks, Chef. And I think this is a great time to just remind people who are following along right now that we are recording this episode, and you will be able to access it and view it at your leisure.
Yes, exactly. Another thing about this recipe, I do need to give a shout out to Chef Marco. He shared this. This is his grandma's recipe that he shared with me, maybe in confidence to not share with everybody else, but you know, we're all in quarantine and we want to have a good dish. So I thank Chef Marco for the lesson in the rajas con crema.
Some of you might know Chef by his nickname or handle, Chef Wild Thing.
Too bad, under the circumstances, I can't have Chef Marco in the kitchen with me right now, cooking together, but I'm sure he's in his house right now, following along with us. So while the peppers are steaming, hopefully everybody's getting caught up with that, we can also mince the garlic. It doesn't need to be a super fine mince, just a rough chop with that. Really, the garlic we're just going to use to season the cream, impart a little bit of flavor. It's not a ton of garlic. It's not a garlic heavy dish. So I don't say that we need to be very specific with that cut and size. So I chopped mine beforehand. I placed it back into the deli container that it came in. That way it's easier to pour into the pan when we're sauteing. So I'll give everybody a moment to get caught up.
So Chef, what made you choose the chicken rajas for tonight's dinner at home with everyone?
It's a great dish. Not like I said, not only is it a traditional Mexican dish, but it's also a very comforting dish. So in times like these, we all go to our comfort food. So I would say that the rajas taco is one of my favorites. It's very comforting. It's delicious, and you guys will find that out shortly.
I'm looking forward to feeling comfortable and cozy.
So while everything's going, I also like to get the pan that we're going to cook our chicken in hot. Doesn't need to be blazing hot, so I'll put it under a low to medium flame, just so it's ready when we're ready to start the cooking process. So our peppers have steamed for a little bit. I'll get one out on the cutting board.
Eric,
Yes.
do we roast all 3 peppers?
Yes, you're going to want to roast all 3 peppers, and I understand it will take some time. So, you know, before we get to the next step, I will give everybody time to catch up. We can talk a little bit more about the dish. We can talk more about Puesto, what we have going on in the future.
Yeah,
Eric, I have a quick question too. You know, I love to cook, but I find myself not following the right technique when I mince and chop garlic and stuff. I don't know if you want to pull out a quick clove and maybe show everyone the best way to de-skin a piece of garlic and do that. There's a lot of people
Absolutely.
that chop the sauté garlic and then please slow down because we haven't roasted all the peppers yet. That might
Absolutely. Yes. So I'll have my wife actually grab the camera off the tripod. She can come do a close-up, and I'll chop some garlic. I got fresh garlic on hand. I know we gave everybody peeled.
I definitely want to see this. You can ask my wife that. One of the things that I struggle with is peeling and chopping garlic. I'm usually negotiating with her on a nightly basis as to I'll do anything but that because I'm terrible at it.
we'll just kind of smash it over. And that will release the skin, make it easy to peel it off. As I like to use cloves. I don't get the garlic smell all over my hand. I don't get raw seafood on my hand, raw meat, raw chicken, none of that. Saves you having to wash your hands 20 times. And I'm so used to doing it, so might as well practice it at home. So I would say the easiest way to do this one is just to give it a quick slice one way. We'll discard the little end that has the little root attachment, a little brown on it. I get it on the cutting board. And the easiest motion from here.
What pan do you recommend for this?
What was that? So for the chicken, I would recommend a stainless steel pan, a big saute pan, because we are going to put in enough chicken for two, enough cream for two to reduce. So I would say a saute pan is the best vessel. It can be a nonstick. It can be stainless steel. It could be a cast iron. That all works. So you have a big pan, high-sided saute pan, saucepan. I have it heating up under the flame just so it's ready for when we get to start cooking. This is it can be a stick saute pan. It can be a non-stick egg pan. We can do one at a time. Not an issue. So we can go back to the garlic. I'm going to turn down the flame just a little bit so it's on low so it doesn't get too hot. So we go back to the garlic. And I'm just going to give it a quick run through with a knife just a few times. Scoop the rest of the garlic. The only way to So I'll clean up my station. Get on a fresh pair of gloves. And now we can demo cleaning the pepper. So I kind of like to use the leftover plastic wrap I have, kind of as like where I'll put the any waste, any of the trim from the pepper that we're not going to use. And I'll take the pepper, I'll get it on the cutting board, and using the edge of my knife, I'll just peel away the skin. And it comes off very easily. Peel it down. We get now, if it's not 100% clean, it's okay.
Eric, let's try switching over to your computer. Your computer's quality is looking pretty good compared to the phone.
Okay.
So it might just be the lighting.
It might just be the,
yeah, I think it could be.
There
the
you go.
lighting.
That's better. That's better for sure. So, Chef, what's next after the peppers?
So after the peppers, we'll get the chicken going. So I clean the top off the pepper, take out the seeds. I'll cut the pepper in half. now into strips or our rajas. This is all we're looking for.
Can you show how it's kind of, can you separate those a little bit so they can see the size of the strips?
Yeah. So it's about 2.5 inches. Doesn't need to be super uniform because we're gonna put them in a taco. And I'll put this in a container, save it for later. The container, you can use a bowl, a deli cup. Let me just get my camera set back up.
Jason, how are we looking on your end? Are our viewers starting to catch up a little bit?
Yeah, I think everybody's starting to catch up. You know, there's a lot of comments coming up right now about your cat. A lot of notes about how cute it is. Now it's drinking water so patiently on the counter. You know, but yeah, it seems like there's some questions about people not being able to stop eating all the cheese prior to cooking. Yeah, I think we're getting there one step at a time, Bo.
I have that same problem too with my admiration for my cat and my admiration for cheese.
Yeah, I think also while Eric's getting prepared over there, but we should do a quick little cheers. I got my
oh yeah.
This is absolutely delicious. My beautiful fiance made it, and it tastes so good. So I don't know if I should thank her or you, actually, but I'll thank you both.
No. Thank her first, of course, always. But is she drinking it? How is she liking it?
She loves it. Yeah, she's a huge Margarita fan. She prefers the Cadillac, but, you know, that's just her.
Okay, I love that. I love a good Cadillac.
Yeah. Looks like people are starting to get a cup. They just want maybe another minute or so on the peppers. So
yeah, not a problem.
Yeah.
Alex, maybe we can switch back to the phone view.
Oh, perfect.
There we go.
Bo,
So
we just got a comment that you look like Robert Downey Jr. from the Iron Man.
Oh, I'm okay. Listen. Let's squash this right now. This is something that I hear all the time. Two things that I want to point out. I am not Iron Man, but have you ever seen me and Iron Man in the same room together at the same time? Think something to think about before you go to bed tonight.
I'm thinking for Halloween, we get you like one of those hair dye kits. We need a little darker color in the hair, and we'll get you the suit, and that'll be it. You'll be the mascot of Puesto for Halloween.
As long as we can make the suit Puesto colors.
There you go.
I'll do it.
We'll pass it back to Eric. And Eric, you're also getting some shout outs for your Latte Larry shirt. People love it.
my favorite Spite store. What are they know what's up. You know, you know. So now that we're getting caught up, let's go over what we have at our station right now. We have our minced garlic, and we have our poblano rajas, or our poblano strips. So if you haven't already, let's get our cooking pan for our arroz con crema. So we'll get that on about a medium flame. We don't want it to be too hot because we don't want to burn the butter. We don't want to burn the garlic. And the whole technique behind this dish is just to reduce the cream and impart all the flavors of everything we're going to add into it. So we'll start on a medium heat. In your kit, there was provided 2 pads of butter. So what we'll do with the first pad of butter is we'll add it to the pan. To the butter, I like to add just a little bit of cooking oil. This can be olive oil, canola oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil, the list goes on. All this is going to do is just help the smoking point and lubricate the pan. So the butter will melt. We'll coat
How
the
much
bottom of the
butter,
pan.
Eric, if people are using their own?
If they're using their own, it was about say a little bit over a tablespoon. I know that there's a tablespoon measurements on the butter at home. The great thing about butter is you can never use too much. So it's kind of user friendly. Use as much butter as you like. It's still gonna make it, make it taste better.
I love that.
I'm on medium heat. We have the butter melted in the pan. It's starting to bubble, as you can see. And now I'm going to add the garlic. And we just want to cook the garlic until it's fragrant. You'll smell it in the kitchen. Start to smell really good. Now to stir around the garlic, you can use a spatula. You can use a spoon. I prefer using a spoon just because that's how I'm used to cooking. So I'm just going to move the garlic around, making sure it doesn't burn. And I don't want it to get too much color. I don't want it to turn golden immediately. So I'm continuously moving it under a medium heat. And as you're cooking it, you'll smell in your kitchen that you're going to start to smell the garlic. It's going to be very aromatic.
Jason, I'm just like looking through some of the videos right now, and I'm loving that I'm seeing people drinking their cocktails in one hand and cooking with their other hands. Yes. That's something 16 years of bartending, I still haven't mastered that. So good on you guys.
It's very important to multitask. So drinking your cocktail and cooking at the same time, it's almost a professional move. We can, send out applications.
Eric, can you highlight what steps we're on just for people to get caught up?
So right now we're on sauteing the garlic. What we've already done so far is we've minced our garlic, we've roasted our peppers, we've cleaned our peppers of skin and seeds, and we've sliced them into strips. Then we added our 1 pat of butter and our minced garlic to the pan, and we're starting to get a little bit of color and bring out the aromatics. So as you can see in the pan, the garlic is not golden brown, but we can smell it in the kitchen. It smells delicious in here. I'll go back to the stovetop. And this is where we're going to add all 3 peppers that are sliced. So it should be almost a full deli container, or if you're using a deli container, that can be your reference. So we're going to add this to the pan. It's going to move it around. And then one of our most important steps is we're going to season. I like to use kosher salt, not the iodized table salt. It doesn't taste good. In my opinion, it doesn't do anything. So I like to use a kosher salt. Sea salt works. But we're just going to season to taste, because everybody's going to have a different taste for their salt level. Some like it more salty, some not as much. So this is only going to be our first addition. So seasoning the rajas. Gonna give it a stir again. At this point, you'll smell everything. It's gonna be very aromatic. You're gonna smell the peppers. You're gonna smell the garlic. So we're headed down the right path.
Eric, let's how can we slow it down a little bit for those of us who don't work in the kitchen?
I will turn down the heat, slow it down, let everybody get a second to get caught up. So what's important about these last few steps is to not have it on too high of heat, because we don't want to burn the garlic. If we burn the garlic, the dish is going to end up tasting bitter. So like I said, it's better to get very little color on the garlic than to get it golden brown. So by achieving that, we can use just medium heat on your saute pan. And while you're cooking, I would say get your cream ready, because the next step is going to be to deglaze the pan with our cream. Also, any juices that accumulated from when the peppers were sitting in the bowl or whatever you had them in to steam, you can also add those juices into the pan. That's just going to add more flavor. So I'll give everybody just a few more moments to get caught up.
Eric, you can, I know Bo didn't brag at all about where he comes from, but I mean, you guys feel free to talk about, your background and what you guys have been up to.
Cool. So I can get into a little bit of my background. Most of my time was done in fine dining, and I've had the amazing opportunity to work for some very good chefs, Thomas Keller, Jordan Kahn, Michael Voltaggio. Yeah, it was just wonderful opportunity to work for them, learn the whole creative cycle, learned how to use finesse, be a professional, be a great team member, and just to be respectful for everybody in the hospitality industry. That's one of the big reasons we're doing this tonight, because we all have such respect for people that we know, bust their asses day in, day out in the hospitality industry for other people. So it is special to be able to prepare all the meals for, the brothers and sisters we have in this industry, especially because we're going through such a rough time right now with not being able to open restaurants. And I just hope that once we get, out of this whole mess that we're in, that the restaurant industry goes back to how it was and we can all thrive and make delicious food. I'm also, very lucky to be working with such a great team at Puesto, be it the team of chefs we have, the creative team, me, Marco, Bo, all the guys in the front office, the owners. I mean, everybody's just amazing. They work so hard, and we're really lucky to. I'm really lucky to be part of this, and I really appreciate it. And it's, again, just a wonderful opportunity to be part of a team like this. I'm really happy that we get to do this tonight.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Eric, and yeah, I mean, Bo, you may not be Robert Downey Jr., but you are Robert Downey Jr. at the bar.
Bo's got the most, when you want to talk about a resume, you talk to Bo Dubois. I mean, that guy's impressive to say the least.
Oh, no, I appreciate the kind words, guys. Just to walk it way back, 16 years, 17 years, started
Don't
bartending.
go too far back because people want us to start again, but.
Got it. Okay, we'll do the short version. Moved to LA just when the cocktail kind of renaissance was blowing up in like 2006, and was able to kind of build the frontier in Los Angeles, the craft cocktail scene there. Worked with some amazing bartenders, and spent 11 years building and designing cocktail bars in LA. And then worked with Disney in Orlando to open a massive craft cocktail nightclub inside their park, as well as went up to Napa after that to help a 3-star Michelin restaurant, the restaurant at Meadowood in St. Helena in Napa Valley, help them create a cocktail program for their incredible service, their incredible food, and the team there is just some of the best hospitality members in the world. Okay, learning a lot from Chef Costal as well. And then we spent some time before things got weird in China, and we opened fine dining in Shenzhen in China. And so I got to do my first international bar program. And then as soon as that was over, I came back, and that's when I heard from Puesto. And I moved, me and my wife came down to San Diego, and we couldn't be happier. This was a very, very fortunate move for us, and I'm loving what I'm doing right now with the Puesto fam.
Yeah, similar story. LA transplant.
Love you guys.
San Diego with my wife.
They want to eat. So
Okay, so back to the cooking. Heat's still at a medium. Peppers are going. Garlic's going. It smells nice and aromatic. We can smell the peppers. We can smell the garlic. We're headed in the right direction. So I'm going to bump the heat up to about, we'll call it a high flame. And now we're going to add in all of our cream. Pour it right over top, the garlic and the peppers. And what we're going to do with the high flame is bring it down. We're going to reduce it. As we reduce it, some of the moisture is going to evaporate. It's going to start thickening our sauce. The consistency we're going to go for is called nappe, or in French, means to coat the back of the spoon. Unfortunately, I don't know what that means, or the word for that in Spanish is, but I'm sure Chef Marco will let me know once we get back to work. So this is going to take a few moments to reduce. While it's reducing, I'm going to add just a little bit of salt because the flavor is going to intensify when some of that moisture cooks off. So we'll just add a little bit of salt. And then one of my favorite additions to anything with cream is some fresh cracked black pepper. This is optional, but I sure like it. And a lot of it.
all right, Eric, couple questions I'm going to fire off. One, we're lost. We have peppers in the pan. what heat is the saucepan at, and how much cream is in there?
So you're going to use all the cream that we provided, which is going to be, I believe, just under a pint. So under 16 ounces of cream. You want the pan on a high heat. You want to make sure that your peppers and your garlic are aromatic. And you want to add all of that cream to the pan. We're going to reduce it down more than half. And as the cooking process goes, you'll see it start to thicken. So get your pans on high, peppers and garlic in, add your cream, season with salt. Now the salt is always to taste. So I have my cooking spoon, I have my tasting spoon. So I always want to taste along the whole cooking process. That way we can see where we're at seasoning wise. We're heading in the right direction. When you'll taste it, the first thing you're going to get is the garlic, and then the peppers are slowly going to get in there. As we bring this down, it's going to seep out the juices from the peppers, and we'll get a heavier pepper flavor in the cream. So I'll bring the pan up to the camera. We can see that it's going to start to bubble along the outside, start to look a little bit foamy. And that's what you want. That's the sauce beginning to reduce. And when we get to the nappe consistency, I will show you how to check as to how it coats the back of the spoon. We're not there quite yet. So every stove, it's going to take either longer or shorter, depending on how hot your stove is, how nice it is. If you got a nice Viking range, this will take no time. I have a Maytag, so it might take a little bit longer. So right now the cream is nice and frothy, almost like what you'd see when you're steaming milk for a latte. I'll try to bring that up to the camera, get everybody to see. And the kitchen smells good. It smells like garlic, smells like peppers. And we're about halfway through the reduction process. I'm gonna add all of the shredded chicken that we provided with you. If there are a little bit of juices left in the container, they can go on too. That's just gonna add some flavor since they were poached in chicken stock. So the chicken that everybody received was poached in a chicken stock and aromatics. The aromatics being black pepper, garlic, onion, bay leaves, and salt. We slow poached them at, I believe, 185 until the chicken breast was tender, and then we shredded them all by hand. Everyone, I shredded all your chicken by hand with Chef Carson. So chicken is in the pan. I'm gonna move it around. So it starts to break up and get coated in our sauce.
Chef, I see that you have a little cooking companion down there. You want to walk me through that guy?
I do. This is one of my sous chefs. His name is Samson. I'll bring him up, see if you guys can see Samson. He likes tacos. He's angry at me for picking him up.
It's adorable.
I'll wash my hands real quick because we just touched the dog.
Perfect. Nice.
So right now is a good time to do a little bit of multitasking. So while your chicken and cream is reducing, you can also put a little bit of heat to the nonstick and start to heat up the tortillas we provided. So my wife's gonna help me out with that one. And really, you can heat up the tortillas on a nonstick. You can throw them right onto the stove, heat them up over the stove. You know, no way is the wrong way. So however you'd like to heat up your tortillas, do it. I like mine on the skillet. So it's reducing in the sauce. As you can see, we're bubbling. So you can see that it's bubbling. We're getting a lot of steam. That means that all the liquid's evaporating and will be reduced shortly. So what we're going to look for to know that your sauce is fully reduced is we don't want it to be very runny or soupy. It shouldn't be able to pour right off the spoon. Or bring a close up. This is what we don't want. It's very watery right now. Not that it's not good, it's just not what we're going for. If we put it into our cheese roll in the taco, it will just spill everywhere. Cause a bigger mess. So I feel like we're halfway through the process. So I'm gonna taste it again with the tasting spoon. The salt is good, but I think it needs a little bit more black pepper. Also, if you feel like it's on the verge of being salty, don't add any more, because by reducing it, we're just going to intensify the flavor. So if you think you're just about there, by the time this is finished, it should be seasoned perfectly.
Eric, any tips and tricks for people whose cream is still a little watery?
Just keep on reducing it. It's just not there yet. So the cream is going to be watery one way or another. But as we reduce it, I promise you, it's going to thicken up. The more it's on the flame, the longer it goes, the thicker it will become, the more it's going to reduce. So that just means that you're not quite there yet, and you need a little more reducing. And I'm not quite there yet either, so I still also have some reducing to do.
Chef, can you walk us through just in general, like what does reducing mean?
So that just means that we're evaporating the water content. So right now we're using cream, which is mostly fat, but there is water content. So by letting that water content evaporate, it's going to thicken the sauce because it's going to get rid of all the liquid or the water, which is why it's watery. One big thing about this, so we did use poached chicken breast, where if you taste it from out of the container, it does taste a little bit dry, because chicken breast, being a very lean piece of meat, once cooked for a long period of time, it cooked all the fat. So by putting it into a sauce of almost all fat, we're rehydrating the chicken with fat and flavor. So if you tasted it before you put it in the sauce and you're like, oh, this chicken's dry, we'll taste it afterwards. It will surely not taste dry anymore. You'll get tons of flavor, the garlic, the caramelization of the cream as it's cooking down, and the rajas.
So no heat adjustments, just stay on the path and keep going and just trying to
just
get
keep on cruising.
All right.
I'm still on a high heat, and like I said, depending on how many BTUs your stove has or how hot it gets, that's the amount of time it has to be on. So we still have about another minute. You're in a good spot when you have a lot of bubbles, when it's bubbling. I'll grab a close up, see if we can see it. For a path. And I'll just keep on stirring and stirring and stirring. Right now it's bubbling very rapidly. When the bubbles start to slow down and they're bigger bubbles, that means we're going to be almost near finished. Also, if there are any big chunks of chicken, this is where you can start to break it up. As you can see, the color of the sauce has also changed from white and it's starting to get a green hue because it's picking up a lot of the flavor from the peppers. So now that I'm almost 3/4 of the way there, I'm going to reduce the heat to a medium flame to stop from burning. What we don't want is a little bit of burning on the sides. So constant stirring. Be good.
Hey, just a quick note, as everybody's starting to catch up right now, we've got a bunch of great comments that we've got some great smells coming from your fantastic sauce. Bo, do you want to do a quick industry toast here while everybody's getting caught up?
Yeah, absolutely. While we're reducing, let's do an industry toast again. you know, my career and the path that I went down allowed me to work in a lot of incredible markets all over the world at this point. And I can tell you that at this point in my career, coming to San Diego for the first time, I can tell you that San Diego's hospitality industry is killing it. What I'm so shocked by, but in a good way, and also really, really energized by, is San Diego's genuine sense of hospitality. So let's take some time. Let's raise our glasses. If you switch to just your remaining tequila, that's okay, or whatever stock you have at home. Let's give a toast to all of San Diego hospitality industry, to Big Mike from Southern, okay, to the boys at Consortium, boys and girls at Consortium, Jay and Tony's, Kayvon, Coco, Will, Gabby at Morning Glory, Bill at False Idol. Okay, let's do a quick cheers across San Diego. All right, cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Guys.
Thank you for watching. Okay.
Absolutely. And thanks for all the great questions too. This has been a really awesome chat session. I'm doing my best to keep up here too, along with the rest of the team here. If you have any other questions, please feel free to send them along, but I think we're doing pretty good. Chef, where are you at right now?
We are almost fully reduced. As you can see, there's about a lot less cream than we started with. Not much I can get by just sticking my spoon in there. It's getting very thick. It's all coming together. I'll show you what I mean by the nappe. I'll rub my spoon in the sauce. It coats the back of the spoon, and I'll run my finger through it. And it makes a nice line. The sauce isn't seeped down, and you can see that line going through right there. So that's the technical term, is nappe.
Hey, Alex, what do you got for the Spanish version of nappe?
What's up?
There might not be a Spanish version of nappe, but we'll invent one. I'm going to show you that. So if we're cooking on a high heat, by this point you should be done or pretty near close to done. I'm gonna cut the heat and I'll show you guys again. There's maybe, you know, not much liquid in there, and the liquid that is in there, it's very thick. Almost like thick like a bechamel sauce or a gravy. Gravy is a good example. So I'm going to taste it, the tasting spoon, to make sure that we're on the right seasoning level. Season correctly. It's hot. It's good, but I think I need a little bit of salt. So season with a little bit more kosher salt. Stir it in.
Jeff, we're getting some great comments in on the taste of the sauce. Well done.
Perfect. Well, that means everybody's doing a good job.
Yeah, I think it's important to mention right now that we have a whole list of industry professionals. So whether bartenders, back of house, staff, I mean, everybody's got a good understanding of how to work in the kitchen. So that's great. We appreciate your questions and feedback.
Well, once you're down to the sauce consistency that we're looking for, which is nice and thick, we're going to cut the heat to get no more further cooking. I tasted it again. I needed some more salt. I needed much more black pepper. So we'll taste our dish, make sure it's seasoned nicely to your liking. And with the last pat of butter we provided, off heat, we're going to stir that in. That's called mounting with butter. And this is going to add a very velvety, very luxurious texture. So I threw the pat of butter right in, and I'm just going to, see if you can see that. So you don't want to put your cheese inside the sauce. You can, but we're going to use the cheese for later. We're going to use the cheese to wrap our tacos and our signature cheese roll. So I'm stirring in the butter. It's fully incorporated. It gives the sauce a nice sheen. And like I said, a little bit more comforting, luscious flavor. Give it one last taste. Oh, delicious. I can't wait for the taco. So I'll let everybody kind of catch up. I'm gonna start to clean up my station. Clean off my cutting board because we're gonna use that to cut some limes. Also with the 2 limes provided, once this cools down just a little bit, we'll squeeze in a little bit of fresh lime juice from one of the limes. I like to wait till it cools down a little bit because you don't necessarily want to cook citrus. It starts to get a very like fake citrus taste. So I like to do it once it cools down a little bit off heat. I'll stir in the fresh squeezed citrus juice. Cut the lime in half. Right over top. Now this is going to help cut through all the fat in the sauce. It's a very fatty sauce. Stir that in. Take one last taste. That's money. That's on point.
Chef, just to confirm, you've got the heat completely off right now, right?
Heat is completely off. No flame underneath. Try to give you guys a close-up of what I got going on in the pan.
Oh.
Yeah, it smells
So
really
hungry.
good here. This is hard to not eat right out of the pan. So this is going to stay hot in the pan. And we're going to turn on the about medium heat on our non-stick, our griddle, our cast iron. We'll let it get hot for just a second. This is what we're going to do our signature cheese roll on. So we have our chicken cooked in our rajas con crema sauce. We have our tortillas heated up. And for doing the cheese roll, you're going to want a few tools if you have. A spatula that most kitchens you guys should have works good, or like a spatula to flip hamburgers also works well. For the first go, I'm going to use the spatulas we use in the restaurant, which is almost like something you'd find at Home Depot to apply spackle. So we provide you with enough cheese for 6 tacos. So you want to roughly get an ounce, which is almost half a handful of cheese. And I'll bring the camera over here to do a close-up to show you how to do the cheese roll. So I'll let everybody get caught up. See if we have any questions coming in. Jason, we got anything? Good to go? Okay. So I'll let my pan get a little hot before we start rolling the cheese on it. We don't want it to be too hot because then the cheese is going to burn before we can accomplish the cheese roll. So what we have right now for you today is a mozzarella cheese. We're using mozzarella today because it's going to be the easiest for everybody to work with. It's a low moisture content, so there's not going to be too much sticking. The cheese roll is a very finessed move, but we feel like everybody can get it at home with a little bit of practice. Don't worry, even if it's wrong, the taco's still delicious. And I'll show you an alternative if you don't feel comfortable doing the cheese roll. So if we're using a non-stick pan, we don't need to add any kind of oil, any kind of pan spray. The cheese has enough fat to keep it lubricated. So let's see. I have my non-stick pan at about a medium heat. Like I said, we don't want it to be too high because then the cheese will burn. We want it to be high enough where it will get caramelization and be able to hold the taco filling. So first things first, I will get my tortilla ready. So I have it on a single plate because I like to eat one at a time. So tortilla, middle of the plate. Still waiting for the pan to get hot. So now's a good time to cut a wedge of lime. That way we can season our tacos right before we take a bite into it.
For those families that don't like spicy, what would you recommend?
So the great thing about the poblano pepper is it's really not too spicy. It's not a spicy pepper. I would say it's a little bit I don't say it has heat, but it's got more flavor than like a green bell pepper, but it's definitely not what I would say spicy. So to this dish, you need to not add any spice, I guess. But right now it's pretty mild. It's not spicy. What you're gonna get more is smoky and just deep allium flavors from the garlic. And you're gonna get a lot of the cream is really gonna mask anything that has any kind of heat. The fat is gonna coat your tongue. You really won't get any kind of spice. So I wouldn't worry too much about the heat. So we'll get a close up of me doing the cheese roll. So we got about an ounce of cheese. And I like to lay it out almost in a square. Yeah.
Eric, let's go back to
We'll
the
do
laptop.
the first cheese tortillas. What was that, Alex?
Well, right now it's working. I'll let you know if we go back to the laptop.
I think it's just the lighting issue I have here. It's not the greatest. So I have the cheese roll in a square. I'm just gonna kind of push all the edges in. Here, a meat. You could do it on a lower heat if you need more time. You just got to make sure that you give the cheese time to caramelize. The more time it has to caramelize, the crunchier the cheese is going to get. And for the filling in here, we want about 1.5 ounces of filling, and that's about like a kitchen spoon, or the spoon that you'd eat at the dinner table, full of the taco filling. I'll get my filling, chicken, the rajas, and cream sauce. And I'll try to take it down the length of the cheese roll. Try to tuck in the side. And from here, go right onto our tortilla. I like to garnish with a little bit more of the sauce, some rajas on top. A few fresh sprigs of cilantro. I like to use 3, it's my favorite number. And you got yourself a chicken and rajas taco, like I said. Squeeze of fresh lime juice. And you're ready to eat. Don't worry, I'll demo this again, but that was good.
Fantastic.
So before we do,
I think we got to give you a quick round of applause, Chef.
Yeah.
The applause for the
That's what I'm
round
talking about,
of
Chef.
right now in San
Thank
Diego
you.
industry.
thank you.
Yeah, well
Start
done.
to finish.
So
I'm so hungry right now.
Yeah.
I just want to do a quick alternative to the cheese roll for anybody who didn't get it their first try and they don't want to go through all their cheese and they want another just as delicious alternative. It's also a good way of making a quesadilla.
Yeah, and just
We'll put our-
FYI, if you don't
our
have those
cheese back
fancy
down onto our-
spatulas that Chef Eric has, feel free to try just at-home spatulas. Fail, it's okay. That's part of it. If not, this way will be a lot easier.
I'll also do it with like an at-home. So I get down a tortilla on top of it. Press that. What is it? It's gonna get on the other side of the tortilla. When we flip it over, and we'll get the nice gooey, stretchy on the bottom. Again, we get the pan. In
Hey, chef, well, that's good cooking. We're getting a couple of requests for a toast to celebrate the final dish in Puesto. So we should probably raise our glass.
Yeah, we'll toast. I still got some margarita left.
Yeah, to the whole entire team today that did such an incredible job, and obviously all the Sando industry for joining us. This is a pretty awesome thing. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. It's taken great restraint
Cheers.
to nurse this cocktail.
And usually Bo puts those down like they're nothing.
He's not lying.
So I'm just gonna check, make sure that cheese is caramelizing. It is. It's not quite there yet. I like mine really crispy. Let me see if you guys can see underneath. It's starting to caramelize, but we want it to go just a little bit longer. A great snack is just to do this with the tortilla, fold it over, and you have a quick quesadilla. And you can also fill it with the rajas con crema, and it's just as delicious. So I'd say we're almost ready. We're there. So I'll slide the spatula underneath. I'll flip it over. We got nice, golden, delicious, crunchy cheese on top. From here, we can grab our filling. Go right down the center. You guys are gonna watch me eat like 4 or 5 tacos tonight. We got our fresh cilantro going in. Squeeze a lime. And we're ready for another bite. Just like in the restaurant. So now that everybody's catching up, we'll do a rajas taco with utensils that everybody's likely to have. Like I said, I'm going to use a rubber spatula. I'm actually going to see if I have like a hamburger flipping spatula. I don't think I do. I'm used to using the spoon.
Chef, I just got my taco made from my fiance as well, who works over at R&D Group. So thank you. It looks absolutely amazing.
Oh, that looks perfectly executed. Tons of finesse. Luckily, we gave you enough for 6.
Hey, this is Lydia here from Puesto. So me and my husband and sister have been following along. So we're just with all of you. So we're just showing off the tacos. And hopefully your guys are as good as ours.
A very nice job.
I ate mine. It was that.
Delicious.
Amazing. I'm glad everybody followed along. So let me go ahead and demo a cheese roll just one more time. So, like I said, medium heat. I'm just gonna get my square of cheese going. Hopefully by the end of tonight, everybody will be cheese rolling masters, and this will be the only way you guys eat tacos at home from now on. Nice job, everybody sharing pictures. Nice job, everybody attempting this. Nice job, everybody coming out today, showing your support.
Hey, chef. I think I butchered the first one, but how does this cheese look?
It looks golden brown and delicious. So good job.
Fantastic.
We get scientific, and it's called the Maillard reaction. The caramelization of sugar, so it's perfectly executed.
Somebody just called out rain for president. So I want to think about that, babe.
All right. Cheese is getting there.
Ooh. Yeah.
So now I'm gonna add my filling. The great thing about the cheese roll is, like, let's say you're using a giant flour, like burrito sized tortilla, you can make your cheese roll that big. So there's really no limit to your size of the cheese roll. And now we're just gonna fold it over.
Yeah.
Get onto my spatula.
I want to take a minute while people, are signing off, starting to eat. Take this time, enjoy, be with your family. Everything will be back to normal soon. We'll all be dining out and we'll be having fun. So enjoy it. And we're glad we could bring some happiness during this crazy time and show you guys one of our favorite tacos, show you guys a little bit about Puesto, get to meet some of the Puesto team. But yeah, we're excited to have you all back in. Exciting news. We are rolling out our pickup and delivery starting in La Jolla downtown soon on Taco Tuesday. So we will be back because it's been too long. We're all getting bored. But yeah, I mean, we miss you guys. Excited to be back. And any photos of tacos, good, bad, ugly, or great, like Lydia's, go, at our Instagram, @EatPuesto, Twitter, whatever it may be. We're looking for it all. We'll see if we do something creative and fun with it. But we really appreciate all you guys. And yeah, thanks for the past 8 years of supporting Puesto.
Absolutely. And a couple of people just noted too, big shout out to all the first responders. It's almost 8 o'clock right now. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys can hear, but I'm sitting in my downtown condo in East Village with a bunch of cheers starting to pop in the background. And we couldn't have done this obviously without you guys. So considering the fact that we just got this out over marketing within the last couple of days and we moved 1,400 of these care packages, just shows how strong the industry is in San Diego. And that just means that we're going to come back bigger and stronger than we did before. So can't thank everybody enough for joining in, signing in, all your great feedback and comments. And again, this is recorded right now, so it will be available after this. Alex, do we have any directions as far as where that'll be able to link from?
Yeah, we're going to have it on our Instagram, Facebook pages. We're working on a YouTube page as well. So it'll be in a lot of areas, and look for this to be the first of many. Hopefully we'll do it again for Cinco de Mayo. So even if we can't be together, we can all celebrate together over Zoom. So there'll be a lot more coming. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, I'm going to raise my glass real quick. I don't know if everybody has anything left or they want to grab another cocktail, but one final cheers to all of San Diego industry, and then obviously all the first responders. Cheers. Much love. Thank you.
Yes. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for walking through the cocktail, and a big cheers and thank you to Chef Eric. It's tricky, cooking at home just in general, and it's definitely even more tricky when you're doing it on camera. So cheers. Thank you, Chef Eric. That was awesome. I'm so hungry now. I wish I had cooked and followed along. I've just been drinking tequila this whole time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bo, too, for your mastery of cocktails and your awesome cocktail tonight. Appreciate it.
Want to wrap it up too to say, I think from all of us at Puesto too, we have some incredible bosses, the Adler family. I'm sure you guys saw the mayor gave out a shout out to us, but really they've made this all happen. So wanted to give them some love from all of us at Puesto.
Huge shout out to the Adler family. Thank you for your generosity and your open hearts. You guys are seriously killing it. And we love you guys.
We love you guys. Love McLean. Check out Pixter. Big shout out to our favorite team. But yeah, we love you guys. Thank you for everything you do.
Thanks for the best meal I've
Thank
had
you.
in quarantine.
Seriously. So good.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, feel free to stay on and socialize or drop off and be with your family. So, but yeah, we appreciate it. Cool.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Cheers, guys.
I'm trying to make another one. It's so good.
I'm gonna finish eating this one right here.
Chicken.
Mm-hmm.